Severe storms booming across parts of Texas. We had reports of baseball-sized hail, even a little bigger than that. Tons of lightning and winds gusting to almost 70 miles per hour. More rain for some of us this morning and possibly more to start off the brand new work week, where we'll see some travel troubles coming up. Thanks for waking up with us here on America's Weekend Headquarters. I'm meteorologist Kelly Cass.
And I'm meteorologist McCollum. Another type of precipitation coming down in upstate New York. Well, Kelly, that is the snow. But the big question is, how much snow are we talking about? We'll get into those details, plus what we can expect for the start of meteorological winter, which is only a month away.
That's right. Meanwhile, we head back down to the tropics.
8 away at the shoreline.
And the Weather Channel's Katie Tutrone actually met with Brett Barley, a Buxton resident who has been a leading voice in the urgent push to repair the crumbling and ineffective jetty system before more storms, more homes are lost. And due to the rash of collapsing houses into the ocean, we have asked North Carolina's governor, lieutenant governor, and the Senate's 2 U.S. senators to join us to discuss how to solve this environmental crisis. So far, all of them have either declined or maybe just not responded to our interview guests, but we'll stay on top of the story.
All right, and we know this week, not only do we have a coastal system that's going to be moving up the eastern seaboard, but at the same time, the king tides are back.
Yes, the moon is, of course, getting fuller in the sky. And of course, you get this when the orbits of the Earth, moon, and the sun align. It's not just one spot along the coast. It's basically several spots where we experience some of the flooding from king tide.
It happens about 6 to 8 times a year. So if you were like, wait, I thought we already had this. Well, here we are again. And this basically brings those water levels up when you have high tide, higher than that normal high tide. You throw in a coastal low or any kind of wind-driven event,
right,
things can get worse.
Now that we switched the clocks last night, hopefully remember to fall back 1 hour.
Did you have a jump scare when you looked at your oven clock this morning? Because I did.
The clock in my car. So I'm driving it away. It seems awfully late to be driving to work right now.
Yeah.
Very strange. But now we are talking about the West, where the weather is going to be kind of eerie, a little scary at times with these atmospheric river events, which are rated in category from 1 to 5, 5 being the worst.
And we have, some categories that can be beneficial, some that can be more intense. And for many of us, this upcoming week is going to border on that beneficial to hazardous.
But where you see the orange on this map, note the dots here across Oregon, down into California. That's where we're talking about a 4 on that scale. So it will be quite impactful. We're talking about a lot of wind and very heavy rain adding up at the coastline. Persistent
moisture for a couple of days. So it's not like we're going to see much of a break. That's why an area is highlighted. You see right there, Oregon down into northern parts of California. That's what we're anticipating this to edge into the hazardous and less for the beneficial. And notice this forecast goes through Thursday. So it's going to be a very busy week. You get the breaks in between, like today. We're not seeing too much action in California, a couple of sprinkles up towards Seattle. We had record rain yesterday in Bellingham, over 1.5 inches. And this is, what's happening this weekend is more manageable. It's what's going to happen and add up over time that's going to make it more dangerous. Here comes the next one. Moving on shore, Monday into Tuesday. The blue is your snow, by the way, across the Cascades, the Bitterroots into western Montana, even down to California. We start to see more impacts as we close out the week. Very well-deserved and hard-fought victory there for the Dodgers. Congratulations to the Dodgers. All right, now let's talk other events that are happening today. Of course, in NASCAR, it's the Cup Series Championship in Arizona. It's a hot one out here. It is. We have temperatures close to 90. Meanwhile, some NFL football. Let's stay in the Vegas area, where we also have some warmer temperatures, but this is a closed roof, so weather really not too much of an issue. Yeah, good for tailgating, though. Packers and the Panthers very much outside. They call this the frozen tundra, but not living up to its nickname with this forecast. Oh, not yet. Not yet, anyway. Not yet. But you do have the winds to contend with, so that's going to make it feel a little bit cooler outside. Now we got the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Chicago Bears, and you can see the temperatures are pretty footballish, I would say, low 50s. How about Detroit? Kind of same for the Vikings and the Lions here. And the wind, not so much of an issue. Plenty of sunshine, too. Indoor stadium, again, but this is good for tailgating. And for traveling to and fro. Steelers are at home taking on the Indianapolis Colts, and this is a 1 o'clock start.
I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. Pushing 60 degrees.
It really doesn't.
No wind to worry about. Looks fantastic.
That is some perfect fall football weather. Well, how about your week ahead? Will you have some of that perfect fall weather?
First week of November, we are presenting it to you. Starting with today, we've got the showers moving across Kentucky, Tennessee, even Atlanta. We get a little wet by later on in the afternoon. Northeast, you may not see it there, but there's some breezy conditions.
And it's going to be a more active week across the Midwest and the Northeast with a couple of systems moving through. Tomorrow, you could have some showers in New York. It's not going to be nearly as heavy as what we saw last week. And that's
and
good.
The wind will keep up there as well. 65 Atlanta. How about 78 degrees in Dallas? You guys are holding on to the warmth. There's your wet and cool and breezy conditions.